Hi everybody, it's Jessica from Tensita Johnson, and today we're going to show you a pigtail style with two accent braids on the top of the head that are combined later into French braids. So I'm starting with the parting. This is going to be a triangle shape, so from over her left hand eye, I go to the middle of the head, end of the middle parting, and then before doing the other side, I just clip this portion of hair away. Use some clips, use hair tie, whatever is the most convenient for you. And then from the end of her middle parting, I do the next parting to her right eye. So do exactly the same, clip everything away. And then I make the middle parting until the neck. So you go from the point of your triangle until the end of the neck. Try to make it as neat as possible. And then make a low ponytail by just using a hair tie to have that portion of hair also out of your way. I do the same thing on the other side because we're going to start our hairstyle with the cornrows on the top. For this I opened now the clips and the little buns that I did, because we're going to start by applying some hair gel. Here I start by using some gel for the part line that makes it look neater later, and then I like to use a toothbrush just to comb it a bit into the hair, and then also I comb it through with the comb. Take a little portion of hair in a triangle shape from the front, split it into 3 equal strands, and then start to braid under. So you take the outer strand under the middle strand, and then you add in hair. Like you have seen here, the first stitch I always do without adding in any hair. And then hold everything tight and close to the scalp in between of your fingertips. If you have fingernails, there is no need to use the comb. Mine are very short, like you can see, and this is why I use the comb. But I have difficulties with the left hand, so only on my right side I'm using the comb. Like you can see here, I first went from the middle of her face, where is the part line, in the direction to her left ear, and now I'm starting to curve like I want to go back to the middle parting. So the braid has a slight curvy shape later on the top of her head. Use some gel for the strands. This avoids that little hair are popping out. Remember always to comb the gel through so you won't have any clots or whatever of gel. And then there is no more hair to add in. You see that I changed the position of my hand because for me a regular 3-strand braid looks neater mostly when I braid it this way. You can try what is more convenient for you. I switch perhaps with different weather. I have different hand positions. I don't know what brings the day. So you just find out what is the best for you. My model had a lot of flyaways, so I put some gel all over. And then just braid until the very end and tie off with a tiny hair elastic. When you're done with your first braid, you go to the other side and you do exactly the same thing. So add in some gel. Here now I massaged it into the hair and then combed it. I also used some water before because her hair was very, I don't know, rebellic, is that an English word? So, and for the sides, for them not to be in my way, I also put on some gel. And then I did exactly the same thing. I start with a little portion from the front in a triangle shape. I split it into 3 equal sections and I start to braid normally from the middle parting on to bring the strand under the middle strand. And here after the first stitch I start to add in some hair. And when you're incorporating the hair, the neater you want the result to look, the smaller these strands should look. And this is what I'm doing here. Again, pulling the hair into the direction now to her right ear. And then when I reach to the edge of the part line, I'm starting to curve it to the middle parting again. And then you just braid until the very end and tie off with a little hair elastic. Now that we have our 2 braids, I'm going to cross them like this. They look a bit higher in the middle, and that's what I like. It's like a little accent, a little detail. And I add in more gel for the next braid. This braid starts more or less in the middle of the part line from the top of the diagonal one. We do again a Dutch braid, so I'm using this portion of hair to split it into 3 equal strands, and then I'm adding in hair always after I brought it under the middle. Make sure to smooth out every single strand to have a neat result. My model was so kind to sit on the floor because I thought it would be nice for you once to see how I'm braiding from my point of view. So I hope this helps. You see that I always try to hold the new strand between index finger and thumb. This needs some practice, but if perhaps one day you want to use extensions because you have thinner hair, then it's helpful if you are able to hold the strands like this. When you reach the end of the hair and there's nothing more to add in, you incorporate the little braid that is coming from the top. You see that I'm always using also in the ends some hair gel, because especially when you have braided different braids, the ends are not from the same length, so you don't want little hairs to pop out. Use some gel, use good gel, don't take the cheapest one you find in the supermarket because it can dry the hair. I use one with argan oil and I'm very, very happy with the results and how it nourished the hair. Tie off until the very end, and if you have, like me here, strands that are not equal, bring one under and take a portion from the biggest strand, and like this you can equal them. Braid until the very end. This needs some patience when the hair is so long like here, and then tie off with a little elastic. You see here the water helps to bring everything down. You don't want to put gel all over, so it's just for the hair not to be so fluffy. And yeah, use the gel for the edges and then do exactly the same thing. The first portion is a bit smaller and is right by the part line, the diagonal one. Make again 3 equal strands and start to braid like a regular Dutch braid, like you would do some boxer braids, just more by the side. Do this until you run out of hair, and then you add the little braid from the top into the big one. In the neck you always want to grab the hair tightly because otherwise it could loosen up. Make sure not to hurt your model, just pull the hair, not the whole scalp. And now I add in the little cornrow that is coming from the top. If you see the hair elastic, you can cut it away after you braid it. That is the better way. Just make sure not to cut any other hairs. And then braid until the very end, and here happened the same thing. I had the strands differently, so I'm taking some hairs from a thicker strand and equal it out. Braid until the very end and tie off with a little hair elastic. And now I can show you our final result. 2 cornrows crossed on the top and then 2 big Dutch braids by the side. If you're new on our channel and you like this tutorial, I hope you subscribe to our channel and see you back very soon. We are normally uploading 2 videos a week with new styles. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.